Thingamatic. This is the machine that we have. Just yesterday, or just this week, we announced, and you can go over and see it at the MakerBot booth, we have a new Mark 7 extruder. One of the great things about being open source is that we just release as often as possible. So we've done 2 machines, 7 extruders, 26 versions of the software. And when we figure out how to improve things, we're like, great, let's put on a new version. And we make it future compatible, so get the old version, get the new version. So, how much time do I have? This is I should, I have half an hour. Okay, great. I gave this talk in 10 minutes. It is to go to the Open Hardware Summit, and the way I did that is I just sped up. I just went faster. So, you get the good morning relaxation version. So, basically, one of the things we've learned is if you're not sharing, you're doing it wrong. So if you're a company and you're keeping things secret, stop it. If you are somebody who has, how many of you are identify as makers? Just curiosity. Awesome. How many of you have projects that you've done that you haven't shared with me? You can admit it. We've all done it. Okay. Publish those things. Even if they're not done, like done, because we all know like there's the final and there's the really final, there's the really seriously this is the final version. Whatever version is that, just share it because so much of the future depends on it. People who come after you will look at that, whether you've been successful or not, and be inspired and build on it and go forward. I'm going to keep saying that over and over through this talk. So, if you have a MakerBot, how many of you have a MakerBot? Very curious. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Anybody over here? Is this the sad side? Let's fix this. With a MakerBot, you can make all sorts of cool things. Like little snakes that wiggle. You can give a little heart box to your sweetie. Put a ring in it if you want. Whistle. There's a great story. This whistle is early days of MakerBot. A guy named Zago had to go referee his daughter's soccer game, whereas in Europe they call it football, it's German. And it was like, he had an hour. So, well, he took 15 minutes to design a whistle, including a little ball on the inside that breaks off and down. And he printed it out in another 15 minutes. And then he was a root toot and refereeing the game. And then half an hour, and of course he published it as soon as he was done before the game, good job. And I was on the N train going to go demo MakerBot at a Gizmodo event, and we have Thingiverse on Twitter, so you can subscribe to Thingiverse on Twitter. It gives you thing alerts. And I'm going over the bridge, and it's like, thing alert, whistle. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting that. So half an hour later, after he published it, while he stopped doing the soccer game, I'm printing it out for people and whistling it. And it's an exact copy. It's like the same whistle, because it's a digital object. And so it's like teleportation. You could probably put the whistle on a missile and get it from Germany to Brooklyn, but that would be easy. So then there's people like this. This is a user named Skindle on Thingiverse. He made this Gothic cathedral playset. It's actually like 12 different pieces, and you print them out. You can rearrange it so your cathedral can, it's a parametric, cathedral. You can remake it all the time. And playsets are really cool. It's one of the things that's showing up on Thingiverse is really great. He later did this thing. I did this U-boat, which you can print out in multiple parts. And then he went on to go do the turtleback racers. Has everybody seen the turtleback racers? They're so wonderfully silly, and they make me so happy. And after that project, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, I have to hire you. So now Skindle, his job is to just do awesome things with MakerBots at MakerBot. So if you can make anything, what happens if you take anything and you put it together with anything? You get more things. This is the trend I wanted to tell you about, digital design mashups. So you may know mashups from such great Grey album, or what is it called? The supercuts, or supercuts are when you take like every time somebody says something like something, like you take every time anybody said that in every movie and you put them all together. And that's a supercut. It's a mashup, and it's highly entertaining. If you do a search for supercuts, you'll be highly entertained. But that's not what this is about. It's not about movie mashups. It's not about music mashups. It's about thing mashups. So Make True has this dragon head he printed out and designed, and this is a digital design. And then Stanford went to the thrift store and found a ceramic bunny and scanned it like in 1985. And it's been kind of a classic hit of 3D printing ever since. And you put these two things together, drag in, grab it. You're getting ready with your holy hand grenade, aren't you? Yes, just grab it. Jim. No, don't go there. Don't. Ah! Okay. Everybody over 30 is left. So this is pretty simple. You take something else, put it together. What's interesting to me is that while this seems really straightforward and obvious, it was about 1.5 years into MakerBot's existence and the community before it became like a trend or almost like a meme or a thing that just people did until it became natural. And this happened, it just took time, and we've created Thingiverse. How many of you have seen Thingiverse? Okay, so not everybody. Thingiverse is a site at thingiverse.com, the universe of things. And that's where you go to share your digital designs. So if you have any digital designs starving on your hard drive, if they're just, I can hear them now. Listen to that voice. Get them on the internet. Put them on Thingiverse. And then this happened. Wiseorg, one of the community members, he's the guy wearing sunglasses there. He uploaded the gangsta. And it's a rather nondescript model. It's a guy wearing a hoodie with that posture, kind of like this. And who knew that this would? Well, when you upload something to the internet, you never know what's going to happen, especially in a sharing culture where we encourage derivatives. Okay, so he did it under the Creative Commons Attribution Share Alike Creative Commons license, and the share alike means if you download this and you change it, you have to release it under the same license that other people can change your thing. Which is kind of cool. Basically says, like, if I'm going to be bold enough to let you mess with my stuff, better than me mess with your stuff. And so when you let's say you do download the gangsta, if you want to make a copy, you can just print it, you can just print it out, add an image, that lets Wiseorg and the rest of the world see that you thought it was cool enough to print it out. If you make a derivative, you can see at the bottom, you can browse and upload the source file. So there's the gangsta printed out. And here's the snake you saw earlier. And you take the gangsta and you mash it up with the snake, and what do you get? Snake stuff. Oh. It's like some kind of superhero, right? Like, I'm in trouble. Don't worry, snake stuff's here. And then somebody took gangsta and just decimated him and turned him into low-res stuff. And put the devil head on the gangsta, and you've got the devil stuff. You can see where this is. Just with these three mashups, you can see